All right. So we are reading, studying Isha Upanishad, and it is the end where we are finding that the seeker, a spiritual seeker, is at the end of their life. And in these four verses, we get a good glimpse of the mental state of such a spiritual seeker of Vedic age who had tried to live a life of spirituality, who strive hard to realize the spiritual reality, the truth. And now the time has come for them to quit the body. So, what the state of mind of that person is? We see that that person is in a prayerful mood. So, since such a person was a worshipper of sun, sun was is a symbol of Brahman, the all-pervading reality. So now they're praying to sun to show the reality behind the sun. They are not anymore satisfied with the symbol. They want to realize their unity with the reality which is behind the sun, not the symbol sun, the reality for which sun is the symbol. Sun is auspicious. This material universe is good. There are so many good things in it. But now the seeker wants to go into the depth of the things and wants to realize their unity with the spiritual reality. We call it Brahman. And the seeker says that it is their birthright because so aham asmi. I am that. In reality, in essence, what I am, the spirit. So aham asmi, I am that. So let me have that. In the last month, we saw that this seeker is finally offering its body. Now the time has come. Let my body be um, turned into ashes by the fire. That is a offering to fire. The whole life the seeker has worshipped the fire. Now it is a final offering to the fire. Throughout their life, they have offered many things to the fire. Now the final offering is this body, so that the elements of the body go back to the elements of nature. And the seeker is trying to fill the mind with positive thoughts. It is telling, the seeker is telling that, oh mind, think about the good things. Good things means all the sacred memories, all the holy association, love that we have received, love that we have given, all the spiritual ideals, our spiritual practice. Try to remember all of these. And also, the seeker uttered the name of God, Om. So this we get a kind of what to do list, what to do at the time of death. So it's a leave this world in a spirit of offering, okay, and try to fill the mind with positive thoughts. That is possible only if we have cultivated positive thoughts throughout our life. So if we have lived a fullest life of flourishing as well as spiritual pursuit, then it will be easier for us at the last moment to uh, bring up those kind of thoughts into our mind, into the surface of our mind. So all those sacred things, all the holy association, all the spiritual practice, then we can bring them up to on our mind, and also we can also chant the name of God or Om, whatever we are attracted to, whatever we have chanted or practiced, whatever we have repeated through our life. Can we do that? So this is a to-do list. For understanding the next verse, the last verse, we need to understand, we need to have some background information. With that information, this verse will be much more clearer to understand. And for that, we need to know that branch of theology called eschatology. Eschatology means system of doctrines concerning death and afterlife. What happens to us after death? Is there an afterlife? And if it is, what it is like? This is the subject matter of eschatology. So, eschatology is can be found in each religion, and here we are concerned with Vedic eschatology, or to be more specific, Vedantic eschatology. Okay, so the belief is this: physical death is not end of existence. So materialists would say physical death is end of our existence, or end of our being. In contrast, Vedanta would say no, physical death is not the end of existence. It's not the full stop, because we have such a thing called subtle body, which has its memories and impressions and mind. Subtle body is the one that embodies, that embodies, and it keeps on taking birth and birth until it finds its unity, identity with Brahman, the ultimate reality. So the ultimate reality, Brahman, the spirit, in essence is same as our own spiritual essence, the Atma. It's like water in a small pot and water in the ocean. Essentially, both are same. So what is distinguishing these two water, what is differentiating these two water is this embodiment, embody the body, physical body, as well as the subtle body. The subtle body is what is the cause of embodiment. And the subtle body has to continue its journey until it finds its identity with Brahman. So there are many theories about afterlife. Uh, there are this Vedanta, especially non-dual Vedanta, says that there are three possibilities of the subtle body after death. We shall take a look at it after discussing that. I have made a chart. I shall share with you. One is liberation, instant liberation, disembodied liberation. In Sanskrit, it is called Videha Mukti. Videha means disembodied. Deha means body. Videha, disembodied. Disembodied liberation. It is for those who had realized their identity with the cosmic spirit, who already had illumination in this very life. That realization of oneness with Brahman is called Jivan Mukti. Jivan Mukti. That is liberation while living. We have come across this term several times while studying Aparaksha Anubhuti. Jivan Mukti. That is, one gets illumination. Even in living, they find their identity with Brahman. So they are called Jivan Mukta. But Jivan Mukta, even after having illumination, they continue to live. And their body continues to live because of its momentum. Some karmas are left yet to be worked out. So, because of that momentum, the illumined person, even after illumination, they continue to live. And when the body drops, the person gets final liberation. This final liberation is called Videha Mukti. disembodied liberation. And that is the fulfillment of life's purpose. No more coming. The Atma, which was always one with Brahman, has been realized by the mind. The person now has, which they realized it, but the only the slightest differentiation was, um, although they had realized the identity, but still they were continuing to live in this body and mind. Now, at the death of the body, the subtle body also dissolves, and the Atma and Brahma, they become one. So this is uh, Videha Mukti. Okay, this type of liberation is rare, rare, because Jivan Muktas are rare. Okay, to be very frank, Jivan Muktas are none other than Acharya Shankara. In the introduction of chapter 13 of Bhagavad Gita, Kshetra, Kshetrajya, Vibhaga Yoga. In the very introduction, Shankaracharya says, as was in the past, so also in the present, so also will be in the future. These Jivan Muktas are extremely rare, Jivan Muktas. Okay, we aspire for that, that is our goal, but Jivan Muktas are indeed very rare. Okay, but they are our inspiration. So this Videha Mukti and Jivan Mukti are rare for the illumined people. For others, what are the options? Number two, second is gradual liberation, gradual, which is called Krama Mukti. Krama means gradually, Mukti means freedom, liberation. So if a person has lived a commendable spiritual life and wanted to have illumination, but could not have illumination, could not realize their identity with Brahman, then after death, their subtle body will pass through subtle planes of existence until they finally reach liberation. The process is slow, very slow, but it is sure that they will no more return. They will be liberated. This path, this path through which they go, they move and reach the final liberation is known by different names. They are sometimes called the brighter path, brighter, bright path in Sanskrit, Shukla Marga. Shukla means white or bright. Marga means the path. Also, it is called the divine path, Deva Yana. Deva means God, and Yana means the path, paths of the gods. It is also called Uttarayana, the northern path of the sun, or northern solstice. It is also called solar path, Surya Marga, and also it is called Archiradi Marga. Archiradi, the bright, the bright path, or path of the light. This is the path of no return. One reference is to see Bhagavad Gita, chapter 8, verse number 24, which, if we study in the light of Chandogya Upanishad and Brahma Sutras, we find a wonderful meaning. It says that when such a soul, by soul I mean subtle body, leaves this physical body, then there are many guides. These guides are nothing but different laws of nature. presiding deities. They welcome the subtle body, take the subtle body, guide the subtle body for some time, and hand over to another guide. So such guides guide the subtle body till the final liberation. Okay. Bhagavad Gita 8.24. The names of the guides are uh, Agnihi, Jyotihi, Shuklaha, Sanmasa, Uttarayanam. So literally we misunderstand this verse as if someone dies when there is northern solstice and when it is daytime, okay, and when there is sun, then only one goes through this Devayana or the path of the brighter path. But not it is not at all. I gave a talk on it. Okay, two paths, two goals, two goals, two paths on Bhagavad Gita. There I discussed in detail. It is available on the YouTube. Why it is not possible? Why it is? Uh, mm, why we cannot take the verse in its literal meaning? Literal meaning um, does not hold water. So here it means, and it is also, according to many commentators who read this verse in the light of Chandagu Upanishad and Brahma Sutras, that these names refer to some presiding deities. That is, they are different forces of nature which guide the journey of the subtle body. We may call it the soul or Jivatma until it reaches its final destination, which is the final liberation. And yes, so this is path of no return. Third possibility is path of return, rebirth. So if a person has lived an ordinary life without seeking illumination, but they did many good works, okay, they did many merits, good karma. So these good karmas will create merits, or in Sanskrit, which is called punya. Because of this punya or merits, good karmas, they will go to a higher plane of existence where they will enjoy a lot of pleasures, pleasures which are hundredfold, thousandfold than what we get here. Okay. But after enjoying all the pleasures, when their merits will be exhausted, they have to come back again and start the journey of that spiritual seeking until they reach the final liberation. This path, journey through this path is called the darker path, Krishna Marga, path of the ancestors, Pitriyana, or southern solstice, Dakshinayana, Chandrayana, lunar path, or Dhumadi Marga, that is the path of smoke. Okay, reference Bhagavad Gita 8.25. Okay, so here they have to come back again. Okay, so what are the three possibilities we see here? I am sharing with you on the screen. Okay, so Vedanta Eschatology, three afterlife scenarios. First is disembodied liberation, which is the most desirable one for a spiritual seeker, which is also rare. It is for the illumined ones, the Jivan Muktas. So they get final liberation at the drop of the body. No more return there, they become eternally free. In Sanskrit, it is called Videha Mukti. Second scenario is gradual liberation. This is second most desirable thing. The subtle body, after death, passes through different planes of existence, different lokas, and finally it gets liberated. It does not return to earth. It is called krama mukti, gradual liberation. This path is known as the brighter path, the divine path, northern solstice, the solar path, the path of light. Third one is rebirth or reincarnation. Those who seek merits through good karma, they enjoy pleasure in higher planes of existence. When their merits are exhausted, they return to earth to continue their spiritual journey. This path is known as the darker path, Krishna Marga, the path of the ancestors, Pitriyana, southern solstice, Dakshinayana, the lunar path, and the path of smoke, Dhumadi Margam. I am sure you shall have Punarapi Jananam, right? Yes. So I shall send this chart by email to you to have a ready reference. Okay. Now we have, if you have any question, please go ahead and ask, because we have to understand these three concepts well.
Maharaj, the higher planes you go to in Krama Mukti, are they same in the third one when they go, they accumulated merits and they go to enjoy pleasures? Are they going in the same place, or is it's like Swarga? They some, in the third one they go to heaven, and in the second one they go to like Brahmaloka or something.
Yes. This, yeah, they go to higher lokas called heaven, and in Vedanta there are 7 lokas. Okay, Bhu, Bhuva, Saha, Tapa, Jana, Satyo, Maha. These are the names of the lokas. I did not go into the details. So they go into Bhu, Bhuva, Saha, probably Saha loka, to enjoy their fruits, but then come back again. Is disembodied liberation the same as Maha Samadhi? Right. Disembodied liberation is also called as Mahasamadhi. Indeed, the drop of the body is called Mahasamadhi. But the thing is, Mahasamadhi is a glorified term. Okay, in India, whosoever a spiritual seeker, or especially a renowned spiritual seeker or a guru dies, they call it a Mahasamadhi. Okay, but we don't know whether they really had Jivan Mukti or not. So technically speaking, Mahasamadhi is synonymous of calling, synonymous of saying death of a great soul. Okay, but it is whether it is really disembodied liberation, that is difficult to say. What happens if they have no merits? All of us, Vedanta says, all of us have some merits. Okay, there is nobody in this world who has done only bad karmas. There is nobody who has done only good karmas. That is why in the next verse, the person will pray that consciously or unconsciously, whatever bad karmas I have done, please remove those obstacles so that I can take the brighter path. Okay, so if there is no person who has no merit in Vedanta. Can you put up the chart once again for a moment? Oh, yes, sure.
So Maharaj, just like there are higher lokas, are there lower lokas too? Like one has lots of
Yes, indeed.
to Narak.
Indeed. Yes. That is true, but Vedanta does not really talk much about that. Okay, I have the names for that. Okay, names for that, and it is said that those who have done heinous crimes, they, for the time being, go to a lower planes of existence. Lower planes of existence, but they come back again. It is not eternal.
Pranams Maharaj.
Yes,
I have a question. So when we're referring to disembodied mukti, so the body we are really talking about, we're
subtle body.
referencing subtle body, right? Yeah.
Exactly, exactly.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Maharaj.
Yes. So disembodied. So disembodied means free from the physical body. Disembodied. So what is embodiment? Embodiment means taking a physical body, coming into existence through a physical body. Okay. Disembodiment means without the physical body. Okay. Okay.
Swami, when the subtle body is going through these different planes before coming back, is karma a part of each plane or not? Or they're just not generating anything?
So no, they cannot generate any karma uh, in any of the lokas other than earth. Okay. That
So
is
how
why they are.
does it help liberate them? Well, I'm not getting the point of why they go to these different planes before they come back in terms of the work that needs to be done towards final liberation.
Okay. The one who is going through different planes of existence, they are not doing any other karma, but they are spiritually quite advanced. Okay. And they wanted illumination very strongly, but they have to wait. Going through these different lokas, subtle lokas, they will not be generating any new karma, but they will be keep on exhausting their all the karmas. Okay, so you cannot create any new, according to Vedanta, you cannot create any new karma in other planes. You can only exhaust the karmas
How do they exhaust it?
by enjoying, by enjoying, by enjoying. So when one goes to one loka and enjoying whatever the good things are there, this is just working out of the good karmas. Okay. Due to the good karmas, they are working out. It is think it this way. Think it in this way. Um, you have money which you have gathered or earned here in this earth. Now you are flying by United Flight. Okay. Up there, you cannot earn any money. You can only spend your money. Okay. So from one flight to another, you are without landing. Suppose you are moving from taking one flight to another flight, and there inside the flight, you are purchasing drinks and food. You are only exhausting the money. You are not earning any money. Okay. Think it this way. Okay. Okay. Any other question? How do we? Okay, okay. Can you? What about the death of an avatar? Which path will that follow? Okay, I'm coming to that. How do we know they are enjoying? There is no way of knowing it. It is just a theory. I'm telling it is a theory. Okay, because there are many contradictory theories. What about the bhaktas, devotees? Devotees don't want to liberation. I am not going into that into details. They don't want to get liberation. They want to eternally get embodied state so that they can serve the Lord. This is the theory of Bhagavatam and of the Bhakta. So This is, as I said, it's a doctrine. It's of Vedanta. There is no way of knowing whether they are enjoying or not. We have to take the theories as they are. Does the explanation of our in this life because of does this explanation of our state in this life is because of previous karmas? Of course, of course, of course. This is karma, theory of karma. Okay, that karma until we no until we exhaust the karma. Until we exhaust the karma, we have to come back again and again. And many of the things in our life which we cannot explain why it is happening, karma theory says probably this is your accumulated karma for which you are having this.
Are
Swamiji,
those, oh,
Yes, Betty, go ahead.
are those sensual enjoyments or pleasures? I'm having trouble grappling with the subtle body and the kind of enjoyment. It seems like it would be sensual from what you have described.
Yes, subtle body has senses. Remember that. If you know the remember the definition of the subtle body, can anybody tell here what is subtle body? Okay, go ahead, unmute and tell, because we read it several times in our production of Bhuti. What is subtle body?
can I say something? Yes, subtle body is mind, intellect, ahankar, then the subtle capabilities of all the organs, jnanendriya and karmendriya, their capabilities are in the subtle body. And ahankar, I already said.
Right.
And memory.
Exactly.
And memory
Yes.
also.
Exactly. 17 parts. Okay, subtle body has 17 parts. Okay, if you remember. So subtle means they are not like these physical eyes. Okay. And according to Vedanta, these subtle sense organs are the real thing, the center. Okay. And these, whatever we are seeing, these eyes are only apparatus of the real eye. Okay. We have a sense organ of touch in our subtle body, which requires an external thing to experience in this world. In higher worlds, we don't need the physical body to experience those things. Okay.
Swamiji?
Betty, just a minute. Betty, have you got it?
I've got it, but it seems counterintuitive that we would want to reinforce that kind of pleasure in terms of what the ultimate goal is and how we are taught to try to attain it. If I'm being clear, I probably am not. It's just hard for me to imagine or understand how this adds anything to our ultimate liberation by going through these various planes.
Yes. So karmas, karma. The person was intent on having illumination. Okay, but could not reach that illumination. Now, what is holding the person from illumination? All the impressions, all this, and what is really actually holding each of us from having liberation?
Desires.
Of course, desires. But thing is embodiment. Embodiment is the bondage. Embodiment is the bondage, is not it? According to Vedanta, this cycle of birth and death, this is bondage. Otherwise, Atman is equal to Brahman. Okay. This Atman gets attached to a body, and this subtle body is the vehicle. So what is actually holding us The subtle body is actually, existence of the subtle body is holding us from liberation. But we cannot kill the subtle body. Okay, we cannot kill the subtle body because the subtle body came into existence to work out the karma. Now you will say, where this karma started? The creation is cyclic. Okay, so it went on. There was cycle outside. Okay, so it's a very complicated discussion it will get. Okay, so through the karmas, through passing through different higher planes, when we are exhausting our karmas, all the impressions that were stored in the subtle body are gradually getting exhausted. So if all the impressions have gone from the subtle body, then subtle body no more can exist.
Thank you. I
Okay.
get it now.
You got it?
Yes.
Okay. So another name of subtle body is karma shaya. If you remember Patanjali Yoga Sutra, karma shaya. Karma shaya means ashaya means repository or a storehouse of karmas. Okay. So when we have exhausted all of our karmas, subtle body has no more fuel, no more fuel to burn. Okay. Then the subtle body gets disintegrated, and this embodied being, I mean, embodied in the sense that subtle body, the jiva atma, that gets liberated. Have you got it now?
Yes, I do. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay. What if they have bad karmas? Where do they go? How do they exhaust those bad karmas? Indeed, that's the question. For the exhaustion of the bad karmas, one has to come to the earth again. Okay. Exhaustion of the bad karmas, one has to come to earth again to take birth, where we can exhaust the bad karmas. But if the bad karmas is too heinous, too heinous, Vedanta does not speak much about it. If the bad karmas is too much than good karmas, then one will go to a lower plane of existence, which is called Patal, Talatal, Rasatal, Mahatal. There are 7 planes of existence. Okay. But Vedanta does not think that one has so much of bad karmas over good karmas. So exhaustion of karma meaning exhaustion of merits and demerits too. Right, exactly. So these higher planes are in the higher loka, it may be coexisting with us. Okay. Because it is subtle, we cannot say that they will be up and up. This is subtle plane of existence. So it may be a totally multiverse. Okay. So the location and space, this does not make any sense. Okay. The way we understand space, where they are, actually who is above what, it does not apply there. Okay. Because it is subtle. Okay. There is a question, what happens to avatars, divine incarnations? The answer to that is divine incarnations are not they don't fall into this category. Divine incarnation is a totally different category, who on their own choose to take birth, who are eternally liberated. They choose to take birth only to help others. Okay, so they are eternally liberated. It is just like you have won the game, you have won the lottery, still you come and play only to help others. You yourself don't require anything. You have already, graduated. You have already graduated through all of these things. Okay. So avatara concept does not fit here because avatara is not a Vedantic concept. I mean, concept of, it's not a non-dual Vedanta concept. Okay, non-dual Vedanta concept. So question will come, what happens to a devotee? Okay, in brief, that is also a great theory. What happens to a devotee? So if a devotee who is very much devoted to a particular god, so they go on to live with that particular form of God in a higher loka, in subtle body, and enjoy there the company of God, okay, or service to God. In fact, there are 5 types of liberation in for the devotees. Bhagavatam speaks about Salekyo, Samipyo, Sayujya, Sharshti, Sarupyo. Okay. So one who is very much devoted to a God, and they, according to Bhagavatam, that the devotee, a real devotee of God, does not want liberation, because for them the bliss of loving God is so much they don't want to dissolve in the Brahman. Okay, for them, dissolving in Brahman or Vidha Mukti is a lower thing. They say, who wants to enjoy liberation if one can eternally live with God, serving God? It is so sweet to them. Okay, and they also have 5 types of liberation. Salekha means living in the same sphere of existence with their God. For example, devotees of Vishnu's, they go to a sphere called Vaikuntha. Okay, there, everything. In fact, I don't want to go into the details because in Naradiya Bhakti Sutra, we discussed that in detail. The point is, according to the Bhagavatam, the devotees who are here and trying to love Sri Krishna, actually, this is a mirror image of what is actually going on in Vaikuntha. The difference is only this. In Vaikuntha, everything is, the body, mind, everything is made of pure spirit. There is no trace of rajas, tamas, and prani prakriti. So the body, mind, everything is made of the spirit. Brahman. Brahman takes the form, this Atman takes the form of a body. It is hard to imagine for us. And they say that, and to give us a taste of what that bliss is like, Sri Krishna or other avatars incarnate here, so that through our physical gross bodies, we can get a glimpse of that love. Okay. So their idea of liberation or their eschatology or soteriology is also very sophisticated. But since we are reading Upanishad, we are trying to adhere to a non-dual interpretation of afterlife. So have we understood what we have?
Maharaj, the Videha Mukti is not just physical body, it's also subtle body is gone.
Yes, everything has gone. Everything is gone. Now is the Sukshma Sharir, subtle body, that is active in the dream state. It is active all the time. It is most active in dream state. Okay. It is alone active, most active in dream state. All the bodies that we speak of, subtle body, causal body, physical body, all these bodies are active all the time. Okay. But sometimes one becomes prominent over the other. So have we understood this? In short, there could be 3 scenarios, 3 types of journeys of the subtle body, which we may call the embodied soul after death. One, if they had illumination during the lifetime itself, then there everything will vanish there, as it were a drop of water will merge with the ocean. So that embodied existence is erased, gone. Second one is those who have not had illumination, but they were quite progressed. They progressed a lot. They are quite advanced. They take a path called brighter path. What is that? Through brighter path, moving through that brighter path or journey, they goes through different subtle planes of existence, go on exhausting their remaining karmas, work out their karmas, exhaust their karmas, and then finally get liberation, which is a very long process, they say, according to Vedanta. But they will, this particular subtle body will never return, will won't go through the life and death, birth and death cycle, which is called samsara. Samsara means the cycle of birth and death. Third one is uh, we have done good things, we have earned good karmas. So these good karmas will take us to a higher plane of existence. But as soon as those are exhausted, we have to come back again because we did not have enough spiritual competence to go through all the subtle planes of existence and ultimately reach the liberation. So these are the three scenarios. Okay. So first of all, Vidaha Mukti, we are keeping it aside. It is very rare. So two options. One is coming and going, coming and going. Second, if we are, spiritually very active, aware, and spirituality is our priority, then there is a probability that we shall get it through subtle, through moving through the brighter path. Okay, brighter path, and that is the prayer of the seeker in our next verse. Okay, and at the same time, although I took so much of time in explaining this, even if we don't believe any of this, there is no problem. If we don't believe in any of this, there is no problem. Because in Vedanta, what matters is how we are utilizing our present time. Okay, so is there an afterlife and how the subtle bodies move? It is we are knowing, but we don't have to absolutely take it as it is. Okay, if somebody loves to, good, because it has been found through research that those who have a belief in afterlife, they usually die more gracefully. They suffer less anxiety at the time of death. Okay, so if one does not believe, no problem. Go back to the previous verse. What is that? At that, try to die gracefully. How to do that? Think good thoughts, positive thoughts. Okay, being grateful for your existence, all the love we have received, all the loving relationship we had, or whatever contribution we made. So think about these positive things and take a graceful exit. Okay, but Vedanta is giving us some model about afterlife, and we have no proof. We have nothing to prove whether it is right or wrong. It to great extent um, is dependent on our belief or faith. Okay, and human beings are not totally rational. We have, many of us, many beliefs, faiths which are not rational, but which gives us strength, and also which is not harmful to others, which also gives us meaning in our life, which we don't get from other sources. So there's no harm in adhering to such beliefs, which gives meaning to our life, which is not harmful to others, which gives us strength and peace. So those who want to can have it. Okay. Any more question about this eschatology?
Swamiji, in Krama Mukti, does a jiva return to the earth, or it stays at a higher plane and then goes to higher and higher loka from there? Okay,
Exactly.
it does not come back. Okay.
It's a path of no return.
Okay.
It's
And,
a one. one-way journey, and the other one is a return journey,
Okay.
return ticket.
And the highest loka, it's said, is the Brahma loka or Satya loka. And
Right.
that's where the Brahmaji finishes the Vedanta teaching, right?
Yeah, that's where they get the ultimate illumination, the Aham Brahmasmi.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So can we move on to the verse? The background took quite some time. So good. Okay. I shall send the email with the chart. Keep it in mind. All right. So yes, now is the verse. So mantra 18 is the seeker here has clearly not been a illumined person. Had that person been an illumined person, would not have prayed like this. So now they don't want to go to higher planes of existence, which entails coming back again. Okay. They don't want to go through the repeated cycles of birth and death. So the seeker is praying for gradual liberation or krama mukti. So how do they go to the krama mukti stage? By going through the brighter path. Okay. So the seeker is praying for brighter path. Okay. Verse number 18. We shall chant it, see its meaning, then discuss. Agne nayo supatha raye asman vishwani deva vayunani vidwan yuyo dhasmaj juhuranam eno bhuyishtam te nama uktim vidhema. Okay, one thing we can do is, okay, let's try to chant it. First, call and response. Agne nayo supatha. Agne nayo supatha. Raye asman. Raye asman. Vishwani deva. Vishwani deva. Vayunani vidwan. Vayunani vidwan. Yuyodhasmaj. Yuyodhyasmaj. Juhuranam ena. Juhuranam eno. Bhuyishtham te. Bhuyishtham te. Nama uktim vidhema. Nama uktim vidhema. Okay, let's try to chant. It's a difficult one. Let's try to chant together. Agne nayo supatha praye asman vishwani deva vayunani vidwan yuyodhyasmaj juhuranam eno bhuyishtham te nama uktim vidhema. Nama uktim vidhema. Okay, what we shall do is we'll stop it here today. Okay, we have already been 1 hour. So let's take this verse with its meaning and discussion next day. Okay, and then also we'll summarize the entire Upanishad in our next class. Okay.